Why don't we just use roundabout? By the way, there's a city in Carmel. Carmel, was it Indiana? Yes, Indiana. Carmel, Indiana, that is like full of roundabouts.
2 years ago,
and like bike paths. They tried to copy the Netherlands with it.
I made a video about the diverging diamond interchange and its place in the study and practice of transportation.
Okay.
Specifically, how this oddly structured intersection
This looks very weird. This does not make sense in my head.
allows for a smoother and safer flow of traffic in major cities around America, and every day for the past 2 years since posting, I wake up each morning and see the exact same comment over and over and over and over again. Just feels like an expensively complicated way to not use
A DDI. What is the DDI
the
hitting?
roundabout. Too bad America is too stupid to implement roundabouts. They're way more efficient than stoplights. The real fix is roundabouts everywhere. Or just put a roundabout on each side. One word, roundabout.
Okay, they're kind of glazing roundabouts though. You always lose your speed in a roundabout. And if you get a traffic jam in a roundabout, you're absolutely fucked. Because like, a lot of times here in Germany you have it that like we have 4 exits in the roundabout and only 1 is crowded, but then all the cars like cuddle up in the roundabout and then you can't go past it anymore. So even the people that want to go to like exit 2, 3, and 4 cannot leave because exit 1 is completely stuffed.
Today we are going to address the roundabout issue once and for all so that the
diverging
comments
diamond
will
interchange.
stop. First, let me state for the record, I know roundabouts are safer than traditional intersections. The Federal Highway Administration and Insurance Institute for Highway Safety, or as they are known on the streets, FOI and IS, both ran studies that showed roundabouts reduced overall collisions by 37% at intersections where stop signs or signals were previously used for traffic control. Pedestrian collisions dropped 40%, injury crashes dropped 75%, and fatality collisions dropped 90%. Those numbers are great. In no way, shape, or form should they be downplayed. Roundabouts are safer. There's no light for lead-foot drivers to try and gun it to beat. Instead, all cars must light for lead.
Y'all have 2 reds?
Foot drivers to try and gun it.
Huh?
Roundabouts are safer. There's no light for lead-foot.
Shit, we have green, yellow, and red.
Drivers to try and gun it to beat. Instead, all cars must
dark
slow
yellow
down and yield to traffic. So if an accident occurs, it's usually
red,
a minor collision at low speed. Plus, cars are all moving in one direction, so there's no chance you'll get T-boned or hit another car head-on. The design...
Don't say there's no chance to get T-boned. Brother, there's one guy pulling out like... And this guy's coming and hits him like in the side.
Offers way fewer chances for deadly collisions. Cities that reject the roundabout are not doing so out of ignorance over the design's effectiveness. No, the real issue here stems from money. Because while it would be nice to say that no cost is too high for governments to protect human life, the truth is, when it comes to the real world, there is always a price tag to keeping people safe. And in many American cities, on many American roads, the cost of ushering in the roundabout is simply too much. So public roadways in America are generally built and maintained by state government organizations. In my home state, this is MoDOT, the Missouri Department of Transportation. They have 7 regional districts to take care of local roads and services, and if you're an American, your state likely has something similar. MoDOT's operating budget comes primarily from taxes, namely fuel taxes, registration and licensing fees, and motor vehicle sales taxes. This year, their budget is about $2.3 billion. They've got to figure out a way to spread that money throughout the entire state, making decisions about highway.
Okay, but 2.3 kind of sounds like a lot. You know what I mean? You could definitely like start with the oldest interchanges or the ones that have the most crashes, turn them into roundabouts, and then just keep going like that. Window Productions claim the DDIs are cheaper than regular interchanges.
Location,
Okay.
design, construction, and continued maintenance, but it's not just the roadways. They also have to figure out airports, rail facilities, waterways, public transit, and bicycle and pedestrian traffic as well.
Okay.
This requires more than 6,000 employees who are responsible for maintaining
Makes
the
sense.
seventh largest highway system in the nation. That's more than 32,000 miles. Now, for perspective, it costs about $121,000 to resurface a single lane of a single
That is money laundering. That is money laundering.
mile of a major highway. So while $2.3 billion seems like an exorbitant amount of money, with over 32,000 miles to take care of, it starts to add up. They aren't just filling potholes. They have to take care of plowing and treating roads when snow falls, picking up litter, mowing, building, and maintaining bridges. The point I'm making is there's a lot of stuff to cover, and they have to make hard choices about where and how to spend money so that they don't go over budget, because if they do, oh boy, the ramifications. MoDOT's mission statement is built on 3 key pillars: safety, service, and stability. Safety meaning protecting travelers from potential injury.
Yeah,
Service
obviously.
meaning an efficient and satisfactory transportation.
Bro, you know what's crazy? They would literally get an aneurysm in Germany. They would get an aneurysm. There's this one highway, okay? There already was a construction site when we moved to Herne, like the city where my parents live. You know, we moved there in 2016. The construction site already existed. I do not know for how long at this point, but it was already there. I moved out over a year ago, and I lived there. Like I said, we started living there 2016. It is now 2025. Okay. It is still not done. It is still not done. It is a 2.5 mile long construction site. When I was in Sarasota, Florida, they started a construction site the day I landed. 2 days later, I went past the same road. The construction site was gone. They were finished. 2 days.
System and stability.
On the I-75, by the way. So, like, you know, the biggest fucking road there is.
Meaning a solid, reliable network that promotes a prosperous economy. Spending taxpayer money in a way that strikes a balance between these 3 pillars is no easy task. When I see a comment like this,
it's so crazy. It's been 8 years and the fucking construction site in Germany is still there.
Which reckons that converting every intersection in America to a roundabout should be, quote, relatively cheap and, quote, only...
Yeah, I that's not true. That's obviously not true that it's cheap and only takes a couple of months. But I'm saying just take the ones with the most crashes or the most fatalities and start there, you know?
Take a couple of months. I know that that person is either trolling or severely misinformed about the scope of challenges that come from traffic flow. Because redesigning every intersection in a real-life city isn't like a video game where you can simply drag and drop a new option. Altering even a single junction...
That looks super unsafe, though. That genuinely looks so unsafe. There's cars coming here, okay? So these guys are gonna speed to get here every single chance they get. So they're gonna, like... Then they have to watch this crosswalk and this crosswalk. That seems super unsafe, bro.
Is an intensely calculated affair, each with its own unique challenges, like topography. Some cities have unique geographic considerations, odd elevation, or weather concerns that would make a lighted intersection more advisable. As well, vehicle density might make a roundabout less effective if a nearby business like a farm or shipping warehouse means tractor trailers and big rigs will be frequently traveling through, creating highly unbalanced traffic flows. IIHS believes roundabouts...
That's a big problem we have too with the trucks. They block every fucking roundabout because they need to take it like very, very carefully.
Might not be the best choice. Roundabouts require more real estate than a traditional intersection.
It triggers me that it has 3 entry points, but not a 4th one. I don't know.
If this physical space is unavailable due to land use like commercial ownership, conservation, or other factors, then a roundabout cannot be built. If creating the space requires altering the geographic landscape, then things like demolition, elevation, and resurfacing make the cost of installation even higher. Remember, converting a traditional interchange isn't just a matter of widening a couple lanes and putting up some new signs. Moving to a roundabout means removing the entire existing structure and rebuilding everything from the ground up. This costs money.
That's crazy. Where is this? Where is this? This doesn't look American. I mean, it kind of, like, this part looks American, but this one doesn't. Judging by, like, the lower half of the picture, I would say this is a place like Spain. I don't know.
Takes time, and this presents another
Or
challenge:
Portugal.
traffic control. Because if you close down a major intersection to improve it, you need to provide drivers with a temporary detour. And if you don't set up or choose one carefully, you'll break your entire town's traffic system. Set up a detour that's too cumbersome or annoying, people will try to find a different route to work. If cars begin commuting in other areas that were not meant to support a high volume, then one road closure can create a cascading effect on other traffic spots around town. And
Battlefield roll chat. It's crazy. Nah, but I mean, the US is very fast with construction sites. They work overnight and shit. Germany doesn't do that.
it could result in gridlock. For this reason, there is an entire science of studying traffic flow using computer simulations to determine the best way to handle trouble spots. And the trouble is, every city is different. Population size and type varies wildly. Depending on the time of day, traffic volume fluctuates. It is not a simple cut and dried formula. On top of that, there are industrial considerations. If a town decides to convert a major intersection, the resulting road construction will create economic impacts. New York State has done extensive research and documentation on the negative effects road closures have on nearby commercial properties.
Well, isn't that short term though? I can't imagine someone. Okay, maybe hold on, I get it. I always go to the same grocery store. Now the road is closed, I have to go to a different one because it's like faster. And then I discover, oh shit, this one's better. I don't go back to the, okay, I get
Have
it.
a detour up for too long, and nearby businesses, particularly restaurants and gas stations, will take a severe hit. The reason why is obvious. If there's annoying construction in an area, people will avoid driving there, and as a result, less people will shop there. And even for a fast food chain, losing more than half of your typical customer base for 6 months to a year can mean the difference between...
That's long as fuck though. Is that like, hold on, is this thing that I experience in Sarasota not normal? Is it usually longer in the US?
Staying open or closing permanently.
Like 6 months feels like a long time.
Infrastructure doesn't just cost taxpayer money. If mismanaged, it can result in major financial shortfalls from lost revenue. And finally, though it won't win much sympathy from a lot of you, there is the human factor. Because no matter how safe a design may be on paper, if it isn't understood or accepted by the people who are meant to use it, there's no point. And whether it makes sense or not, the truth is most drivers in America are used to and prefer the traditional stop-go intersection. Yes, it has its...
I don't know, bro. Like, this part, I think if you just give them roundabouts, they will get used to it. Same with Carmel, Indiana. Like I said, they just, like, placed a fuck ton of roundabout. And now the people that live there all say, yeah, like, roundabouts are better. Yeah, because, you know, they got used to it. 2 days is fast as fuck. Major road construction can take months. Crazy. Like, they were genuinely fast. It was like 2 days. And it was like probably about 1 kilometer long. They like repaved the road. I can't tell you what that is in miles though.
Efficiencies. Yes, roundabouts are safer. Yes,
probably like 0.8.
They allow better traffic flow. Yes, most drivers can eventually adapt, but in such a delicate and important system, transportation, this transition, if it is to happen, should be done slowly and carefully, not all at once.
So that's what I said. That's literally what I said in the beginning. Start with the most dangerous intersections.
So, having said all of that, let's answer the question of the day. Why the diverging diamond?
Yes, right.
When you
True.
put our three factors together, safety, service, and stability, the diverging diamond interchange strikes a good, healthy balance. It offers a safer design than traditional intersections, not as much as a roundabout, but still a significant improvement, and this is key, existing intersections can be converted to this design in a fraction of the time and fraction of the price when compared to the total redesign needed for a roundabout. Make sense?
Yeah.
Look, more often than not, your local Department of Transportation's job is to mitigate the downsides that come with every option available. Road construction is annoying and slow.
It looks crazy. It looks like an airport.
Sometimes filled with what seems like pointless bureaucracy, but when you see traffic cones and workers operating intrusively loud machinery around town, remember, it's a sign that your city is working to improve conditions and to
I wish that was the truth, though. Bro, I'm gonna... Hold on. So, I mean, in America, it might be the truth, but in Germany, it's not. Hold on. I want to show you something, chat. I want to show you something. So we're going to... We're going to see something here. Give me a sec. There it is. Street view. No, I want to go on top, not below. There we go. What the fuck is this picture? Yeah, chat, I might not be able to show you the construction. Okay. It seems to be updated. Let's see. So it starts. By the way, all of this was construction site too, and you see the only thing they did was like put like fucking new, like, I don't know what it's called, a side stripe is what it is in German. It's for like cars that break down to, you know, stop. So let's see. This was all construction site, but it keeps going. Okay, it keeps going. They finished the first stripe in a shoulder. Okay, I guess we're on the wrong fucking side. So they finished the first stripe in about like 3 years. And then it started back, like, well, it didn't start, it was already there. But then they started building back here. It was just blocked off the whole time without actually anything. You see, like, everything is cracked here because they haven't done shit yet. So, let's see. Bro, I wish this wasn't so slow. So you see, everything is like completely blocked off here. They turned this, like they completely closed this down. Over here, you're only allowed if your car is less than 2 meters wide. So even my car has to be behind the trucks, which is like, there's always traffic here. There's always traffic. It takes ages to get away. So here you have a better view. This is where you enter. The lane was like moved a little bit, even though there's nothing going on here. Then this is like the lane for everyone, and this is for cars that are less than 2 meters wide. So you see how long this is going to be, okay? It goes all the way. Okay, chat, hold on. I'm gonna skip a little bit because it's otherwise, look, I'm gonna skip till here. It's fucked photos again. Fucking great. And you see it's still going on. There's still, this is temporary, this is temporary. A lot of people are fucking up their cars here, by the way, because they have a car that's wider than 2 meters, and then they still go over here and then they scrape their car. So you can see, they actually caught someone working. That's crazy. If I drive past 5 days, 2 days, people are working. So, you know, we're over a kilometer so far. We're multiple kilometers so far. And you see there's still construction going on. Okay? This is actually insane. Watch it. So, as you can see, it doesn't stop, right? And you can see here it goes further to the, like, if you go straight, it keeps going, but we're going to take the right turn, okay? We're going to take a right turn because it keeps going there too. So this one is completely blocked off. You cannot go here. And the whole time I lived in Hannah, it was always blocked off. So I always had to take the separate, like the other route. You could never go. It's always blocked off. So, oh, hold on, chat. I have to go back a little because then you see that there's construction here too. Okay? That's like when you leave the highway. So, as you can see, there's construction here too. And it starts 6 kilometers in this direction. Okay? This is the reality of German fucking highways. And as you can see, there's a fuck ton of traffic here. Now we just teleported to Street View without traffic. That's crazy. So, the traffic keeps going and going and going. The traffic, the construction, I mean. And it keeps going and going and going and going and going. You have to imagine, I drive this way to my university. If there was no construction, I would drive like 15 minutes, but with all the construction, I drive almost an hour. Get this in your head, bro. It's insane. So, here you see that these pillars are gone, okay? Which would lead you to think, oh, that means the construction is gone. Well, fuck you. If you go further, you see there's construction. It stops for about 500 meters. Half a kilometer, and then like it just starts over again. Cuckoo. So yeah, it's insane. It's actually insane.